program coordinators, program facilitators, and participants. I am here by representing the Lord Mayor of Carnifing Municipal Council, who wishes to be here today with you, but due to other national engagement, and asked me to represent him on his behalf. Who also wishes to do that here with you, but due to the other national engagement, and asked me to represent him. Therefore, on behalf of the Lord Mayor, Talib Ahmed Bensouda, I wish to welcome all of you in the Carnifing municipality in fostering new dialogue of reforms. The program consists of TRRC, Truth, Reconciliation, and National Reparation, Constitutional Review, among others. The theme for this session is promoting inclusive participatory reforms process, which is very fitting to ensure responsive security sector and effective youth participation and decision-making process as key elements towards national development. I thank you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bayo, for that welcoming. Ladies and gentlemen, we are welcomed in Carnifing Municipality by the Mayor's representative. But before we go to the next speaker, allow me to share with you the rationale for this National Youth Dialogue. In 2017, December 2016, when we had a change of government, the new government under the leadership of His Excellency Adama Barrow initiated several reforms. And these reforms includes the ones the Mayor's representative mentioned and others. 1 year into the reform process, it is critical that we, as young people who are one of the most critical constituents, provide feedback to these reform mechanisms on what we think is working, what is not working, and what are going to be our suggestions, our recommendations. The Gambia National Youth Council under the Ministry of Youth and Sports reached out to UNDP to request for support, and we co-plan and decide that instead of having a one-off, we need to go around across the country to talk to young people. And in each region, we are mobilizing young people, but also critical duty bearers, like the local authorities, so that we have a healthy conversation on the reforms. Because the reforms are for us. All the reforms are looking at what has passed, but how do we ensure a safe, secure future? And that future, of course, is our destiny. So we decided that it cannot only be a dialogue that we should initiate. We should also have a capacity building. And that is the reason why it became 2 days. So the first day become a peer-led capacity building, where young people ourselves, youth in the TRRC, youth in the CRC, youth in security sector reform, youths in National Human Rights Commission work, we can come and talk to one another, clear any misunderstanding, try to shape ideas and thoughts, correct any error that we feel, and ensure that we are all at the same level. And the following day, that is today, to be the dialogue. And I must say that the yesterday's sessions has been quite fruitful. We had the peer-led sessions where young people directly engage one another. But in the afternoon, we have a town hall where we invited some personalities from UN resident representative herself, Becky, Mariama Singate, and we also invited Mustafa Njai, TAF, to be there, and also Mari Jobate, so that they are able to engage these young people in a town hall, which end up becoming very engaging and interactive. So today's session is supposed to get the mechanisms not to just report to us what they are doing, but to listen to some feedbacks that will come from our young people as to how we can better this process, how we can improve ownership, and how we can ensure that the decisions that we will take become quite sustainable. That is the reason why we are here today, and we appreciate your time, we appreciate your efforts, and we appreciate all the efforts that you have put in place to be here with us for this important dialogue. Next, I will invite the female representative of National Youth Council to deliver her statement. Nyamansata Sise.
Honorable Minister Youth and Sport, National Assembly members, UNDP resident representative, Lord Mayor, Councillor of Kanifi Municipality, fellow young people, delegates, media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocol and respectively observed. Good morning to you all. My name is Nyamansata Sise, a female representative at National Youth Council. I am glad to present here today to greet this important event with all of you. This is so for many reasons and significant because as constituents, we are discussing one of the most important components of our transitional justice process. These are obviously the Reform, Truth, Reconciliation, Reparation Commission, Constitution Review Commission, Security Sectors Reform, and National Human Rights Commission. These are reforms and great determinants of the path we, Gambians as people, would chart to correct the legacy of representative rule also in our consolidated democracy as well as the constitutionalism. Chairperson, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am convinced with you all agree with me that these reforms are quite important to almost every Gambian. But in fact, these are quite significant for the young people in this country, not least because we are just the majority of the population, but to great extent because of we are the champion, the struggle to the destination. If you disagree with me, you were not part of, or we have not seen the 2016 December election campaign, bag one of the coalition. Chairperson, I wish to remind this gathering that this dialogue is aimed at the mobilizing feedback from citizens, especially young people, on the various reform mechanisms and development issues in the Gambia for necessary improvements while increasing understanding, participation for the necessary important, while increasing understanding, participation, and ownership of the reforms process. I must confess to the young people of this country, I wish to sincerely thank the government of the Gambia and National Development Program, the Gambia, and the United Nations. The Gambians supporting these important events, we acknowledge your valuable support to the transition justice process and other development initiatives. Madam Ansatador, we cannot thank you for enough, the UNDP and the UN family in the Gambia. In this narration of our reform process, we are in the heart. In conclusion, Honorable Minister, the UNDP resident rep, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you all a few take-homes for me, generated by these amazing young people in the yesterday's capacity building procession on the various reform process. Number one, that is the reform should engage and gender and environment, where the rights of every individual in the country, regardless of the physical and other makeups, as well as the orientation, be protected. Number 2, young people should be recognized as one of the most critical constituents in the entire development of the country, and must put the first in all undertaking of the country, not just because of our democratic advantage, but also the infinite opportunity that comes with the meaningful and strategic youth engagement. Number 3, human rights violence, and this of course includes sexual violence in government institutions, and of course includes gender institutions and elsewhere must not be allowed, and perpetuates must follow the law. These are just a few and complete recommendations will be shared the government and all other stakeholders in the soonest possible time. I thank you all for your kindly attention.
Thank you very much, Yiman Sada. Can we give her a round of applause? All right, thank you. Next on the agenda, we'll have the statement from the representative of UNDP in the person of Becky to deliver a statement on behalf of the resident representative of UNDP.
Thank you. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I don't have a written statement, but I'll just say a few words. Honorable ministers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my fellow youth. Yes, I am youth as well. It's really very refreshing to be here this morning. I was privileged to be with you yesterday during your capacity building in preparation for today. And it was such a good feeling to observe the passion with which you organize yourself, the passion with which you engage, and the passion with which you have brought this together. I think that there's a lot of hope, not just for Gambia alone, but for Africa. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my fellow youth, and I'm going to keep saying my fellow youth, the UN is really very pleased to be supporting spaces like this, because as I said yesterday, it's a very historic moment for the Gambia, and it's more historic because the youth are up and very involved in what is happening, and that is something that the UN commits to continue to support. And we are also very pleased that the youth is raising your voices and that you are engaging in difficult conversations. Spaces like this are very important because sometimes perceptions precede us. And until we create constructive spaces like this, we may not be able to clarify some of those perceptions. We all know how very wide the democratic and civil society space is becoming, but it also comes with challenges. It comes with challenges of differences of opinion. And for me, as a peace-building practitioner, and speaking for the UN, we encourage the expansion of those spaces. We encourage the raising of voices. But as I said yesterday, it's not about the voices alone. Desmond Tutu said, don't raise your voice, but let your argument be strong. I'm just paraphrasing, something like that. So please inform yourselves. Please engage in difficult but constructive spaces. And I'd like to end by calling on all of you to reflect on your responsibilities as youth. On your responsibilities as youth and on your responsibilities of what you can do for the Gambia constructively. Yes, you may demonstrate, but within the law and using constructive spaces. So we are challenging you as the UN to continue to engage in intergenerational dialogues, to continue to engage in conversations like this, to ask questions, to seek views, but do so within the law and constructively. Nonviolent communication and using nonviolent space is the way to go. So we encourage you and we want to congratulate you for taking this opportunity and to encourage you to continue to expand the spaces for conversations and engage people like the ministers, all the people in office, your traditional leaders, your religious leaders. Please take the initiatives and engage them in conversations. Because unless and until we can engage in those difficult conversations constructively, we may not be helping our country, Gambia. So once again, please reflect on your contribution and your responsibilities in sustaining the Gambia's peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Reflect on your responsibilities. Reflect on your roles in maintaining peace and stability in the Gambia. We need to create spaces. We need to enlarge these spaces, civic spaces, for young people to engage and also be engaged. It is our collective responsibility to shape and develop this country to the Gambia we want. Thank you, Becky, for that statement on behalf of the RR. Yesterday she was with us and she spoke to young people on gender mainstreaming, how we need to ensure we have young female at the heart and at the center of what we do, how we need to be responsive, and how we need to take responsibility as citizens, since we are not just leaders today in the future, but we are leaders today. Next on the program, we'll have Bright Star Entertainment to give us an interlude. Bright Star Entertainment, if you're in the house, let's put our hands together for them.
Between 1455 and 1456. Maro Jamedile, Maro Jamedile, Maro Bana Jamedile. But in 1455, he was not able to navigate through the river Gambia because of certain circumstances.
Mike.
But in 1456, Alviso de Caramosto came and landed in an island. Unfortunately, one of his sailors died, and the island was named after him. Maro Jamedile Kotonya, Maro Jamedile, Maro Bana Kanakumbo. From James Island to present day, Punta Kinte Island.
And I'm a last spray. With them you dialogue. Parang, where's my file? Very stupid. Nañ dem tey si yu dialogue bi nga xam ne su ma lifi nii feedback bi yëpp fii laa ko def. Let's go. Ay da ngeen laal spray. Tuuti. Parce que Lamine moo kenn daaba moom poxataanam yi ni muy xeeñee fa dama war a nuyu sa waaji suma waaji Baba Galle ak kii Ba Dramé jëral ma fi bi aca nañ dem
da kalamol ko al jibe dal kamuno ko mak sama nadwa nal me ke ko ngal samba kasama sal singo ta mala banko ko ma mer jeri
ku jali
ha
hana tayi dang de rahas bey
ay bon ko do wayi kada ñu so campagne wayi what is wrong with me
your stincation
it depends on the weather
Demilo.
Damn, hurry up. Damn.
demuloo si national youth dialogue bi.
Jumal la muso wuluda bi.
Hey, buga ngeen ngente lii national youth dialogue lañ wax. National youth dialogue.
National youth dialogue.
Yes. On reforms in the country. Mi ngi dem nañ dem.
Den na formol bam fil la le. Ndem gata. I'm not going even an inch. I've already filled my funds.
Kujali, this is an opportunity for you as youths.
Hey, I'm not a youth. Me, I'm an old man.
But the youths are waiting for you, my brother. Boys, dem len. Go and convince this stupid man, boy.
It's for all of us. One of the objectives are, you understand, is to provide the needed capacity and the information for the young people. And this will enhance their participation in the ongoing reform processes. Moreover, it's also a platform to give an opportunity to people leading these reforms to get feedbacks, challenges that we are facing. Exactly. This will also help them to get recommendations and then improve on what they are doing. And they have already started. This is the reason why we have TRRC. The National Development Plan, 2018 up to 2021, even social security.
Security reforms, not social security. Time is going.
No problem. Jerry Nabang.
It's not bad.
No, it's finished. We're coming back later. Yes.
All right, thank you very much, Bright Star Entertainment, for that interlude. Can we give them another round of applause? Trust me, we could have done something bigger and better than this, but we are in the state of mourning, and before the dialogue, the moderator will request that we all have that silent prayers. So that's why we had to lessen the noise and all other things just to ensure that we are able to have this interlude. But I'm sure you all enjoyed their presentation. There are young talents in this country. We are also expecting some poets who will join us, but notwithstanding, I'm sure we will have them as we go into the dialogue. Next, we'll invite the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports to deliver the official opening statement. Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I was about to remind you before I started my speech that this week is a week of mourning, and I urge you all to remember this elder statesman in your prayers. He is one person. During my youthful years, he did everything for us, and I can attest to the fact that today we are enjoying the fruits of his labor. So we should always remember him in our prayers. I could name so many things. Just to name a few, he initiated the National Youth Week, which is today NECOF. He is the one who initiated or gave us the name for the national team, the Scorpions. It emanated from him. So he has so many things that he did as far as youth are concerned. So let's remember him in our prayers every day.
Mr. Chairman, representative of the Lord Mayor, UNDP representative, and representative from the Youth Council. I am very much delighted to once again join you, the darlings of our dear nation, the young people. Today is another important day, important not just because we here as a people, but beyond that, the purpose for which we gather here today, National Youth Dialogue on Reforms in the Gambia within the Youth Connect Gambia initiative. This event, I understand, will be conducted in the entire country, could not have been staged at a better time. The dialogue is to mobilize feedback from citizens, especially youth, on the various reform mechanisms and development issues in the Gambia for necessary improvements, while increasing people's understanding, participation, and ownership of the reform processes. This activity is designed within the frame of Youth Connect Gambia, priority areas on civil leadership and participation. It will provide young people with needed capacity and information to enhance their full participation in the ongoing reform processes, and further provide a platform for institutions leading the various reform processes and national development initiatives to engage and directly interact with youth across the country on the process, progress, challenges, and opportunities, and further receive feedback and recommendations for improvement. This will ensure that the platform processes and national development initiatives are accountable and inclusive by taking into account the views and aspirations of the young people from different backgrounds, orientations, and beliefs. Thus, I am honored to be here and thank Gambia National Youth Council, UNDP, and all partners for making this day happen. The path to charting out prosperous nation, where the plight and aspiration of all, particularly the young, will be accorded the maximum attention within the confines of respect for rule of law. Chairman, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, our nation endured scars in the recent past. The repressive rule and human violations were very evident, as well as utter disregard for rule of law and constitutionalism. These devastated and almost crippled the nation. This was the situation, a country which has been a model of respect for human rights and freedoms, rule of law, peace and tolerance, had found herself in. This misrule and uncertainty lasted for over 2 decades, but thanks to all of you here, and Gambians abroad and Gambians in the country, the new Gambia was ushered in over 2 years ago, and rebirth necessitated reforms. These reforms or reform institutions established by an act of parliament are expected to unearth the past wrongs, especially durable institutions, progressive laws, and the responsive security sector that contributes to peace and support entrenching democracy and rule of law. The support of young people is critical to the success of all these reform endeavors. Mr. Chairman, allow me to renew the commitment of my ministry towards youth engagement and empowerment in the Gambia. The inclusion of youth representatives in all the reform processes is a manifestation of our commitment towards youth engagement and involvement in national development. Let's make best use of these opportunities to dialogue and build consensus for a peaceful and developed Gambia. Thank you all for your kind attention. I therefore declare this dialogue session open.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Youth and Sport, Hadrame Sidibe. Can we put our hands together for him? One reason that why we call ourselves proud Gambians is the fact that anytime we want to get our authorities to join us and have a conversation with us, we have them. If you travel to other countries and you interact with their authorities or the governance structure, you will see the difference with the Gambia. And this is something we cherish so much, and we hope that public officials, government ministers, and others, civil servants, will continue to engage citizens, will continue to come out and talk to young people and talk to citizens, because whether you know it or not, it adds to our pride. And that's things we cherish so much that we can tell our colleagues in other countries, we can access people we put in office who represent us, we can dialogue with them, and we can trust any disagreement or any concern we have. Honorable Minister, thank you for gracing this occasion on this weekend, being with us, being with your children, and being with your constituency to dialogue and to discuss. We appreciate your coming and all the representatives from all the senior government officials, but of course, the civil society organizations, their leadership, who find time to be with us this morning. That brings us to the end of the official opening ceremony. As stated earlier, we're supposed to go for a quick photo session. But before then, like I said, we always want to use this opportunity when we have authorities, we have young people, and so we showcase our creativity. This, we hope, will give the other side of the country to say, it is not all of us who are just, let me say, not connecting. But we have a huge number of our youthful population willing to engage and willing to build bridges. So allow me to invite our poets for the next 3 minutes so that they can also do the interlude before we have the photo session. Is Chernagay in-house? Yes. So Cherna, you have 1 minute for that poem. Just 2 weeks ago, we were in the same hall here when Cherna launched the first poetry album in the Gambia. An album that consists of different topics, including the reform process. Let's put our hands together for him. Cherna and his colleagues are definitely going across the border, becoming international brand, which we should all cherish and promote. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Lamin said I have 1 minute. That's interesting, so let's just get into it. This poem is called Cold Flames. So the mic is going to stop. So this is called Cold Flames, and here we go. The mic. Okay. Sometimes I just feel like quitting. Pack up everything, hit the road and never look back. Go home as I came and tell mom the dreamland is a lie. See, the future we all fought for, it must have died, or maybe it was never born. But we are still here fighting. For a dream we are no longer, so we believe in. Hoping, hauling, praying, not for a miracle, no. Because unlike America, we are not a world superpower, but like them, our people deserve better. So believe me, I know all about the frustration and the stigma. We try. The expectations that leave us hanging out to dry. The hopes that breaks our hearts. We can't cry, can't fly, just watch it all go by as they baptize us with the lies in which they lie. See, unemployment is on the rise. Underemployment is at an all-time high. Government salaries are at an all-time low. The top dogs eat the steak and throw away the bones, leaving the ordinary hard-working man with not enough change to take a bag of rice home. So I call him a victim of the system. Because not even an explanation from Harvard can satisfy me as to why we work so damn hard and earn so little. The employment minister's NAWEC bill is more than our civil servants' basic salary. Legally, we try. Medically, our hospitals are sick, they are weak, the streets are dim, not lit, no clean water to drink, electricity blinks. NAWEC is like the prostitute that sleeps with everyone but never stays for the night. It's always just a fling. No one ever gets the ring. So when my sister died, giving birth to my little niece because her home was too far from the hospital and the road was not good enough for a donkey cart, not to say a car, I say she was murdered by the same system that killed her daughter 4 years later because of a disease she caught drinking contaminated water from a well. See, she didn't have access to pipe-borne water. So believe me, I know about the pain associated with dead dreams. The screams that seem to tear the souls of men out with shame. Fame is a foolish man's ambition, but then again, isn't every man a fool? See, school is not a brain-making factory. No, that is God's job. But our school system is like the virus corrupting God's work. Our children go to school smart and focused, then come home stupid and confused because we refuse to recognize their intelligence beyond their performance in math and English. So we kill them before they grow, slow them before they glow, and cage them before they blow. See, we are slaves to this crude system designed to oppress us, and we are more determined to stick to it than Judas was to betraying Jesus. Section 30 of the Constitution is a lie, because the average Gambian cannot afford university education for his child. See, I am a son, not a father. At home is a little girl I call sister, and a woman, my mother. So believe me, I know all about love and pride, the love of family and the pride of a proud mother in her child. So I try to be strong. I freeze the tears in my eyes and bleed my heart out in smiles. I paint my pain with poetic verses. In every line, I tell a story. I feel stronger every single day, but I keep falling. It is like every record I make, the system breaks and never says sorry. The system is like a bulldog that only barks and never bites. The rest of us are innocent souls fighting to survive with only enough strength to keep our heads above water. For like my sister and her daughter, we are all victims of this damaged system. Thank you.
If that message is clear and is sinking, can you give Cherno another big round of applause? Whether we agree or disagree with Cherno, one thing is certain. What he possesses is a rare talent. To memorize all this in your head, that's what I'm trying to calculate here. How long it's going to take me to get all this off on my head and be able to just come here and put that forward in this shape and manner? No, this is amazing. Cherno, thank you very much. Again, let's give him a big round of applause. There is a huge potential in our creative industry. We've seen young people using their creativity to communicate and share their messages across the board. And the mere fact that they are able to touch almost every sector means they are interested in how those sectors are being run and what is their vision for those sectors. Can we have Lala Toure to give a 1 minute?
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Lamin, for having us to participate on this platform since yesterday. So I'm going to do a piece. I'll try to keep it as short as possible. And it goes. Statistically, young people make up about 65% of the Gambian population. This is a known fact. Unfortunately, we have streets filled with so many untold stories of unemployed, disempowered youth left in the dark. See, the Ozone is now home for hundreds of our young people who left home because they had enough of the pain and the struggle. See, we've been looked down upon and defined and called thugs. We've been labeled and thrown behind bars when we resort to doing drugs. April 2000, 19 years on, our hearts are still bleeding. We've been kicked and shot and beaten. We've been treated like enemies of the state by the same system that has failed to empower us. See, the ghetto life was never a part of the plan, no. We didn't want to be bad or lost, walking around these hopeless streets, wondering what the future has in store for us. So please, stop blaming us for becoming exactly what the system itself has made us. See, we've been broken and let down so many times. We've been told so many lies, and there are times when we can help but let the pain flow down our eyes. So trust me, I feel our pain. I know how it feels to have the system that is expected to protect and empower you fail you again and again and again. But, dear young people of this great nation, please hear me out. See, we do not belong behind bars. Our home is not the prison. And just because we can't get that job or buy that car does not mean we are destined to fail. Everything happens for a reason. See, securing white-collar jobs is not our only way out. Suñ ñafé te daan suñ doole dinañ tekki fii, no doubt. Wada funding ke wal anga bala firingo bulanga do ko ke, for we have families to feed, communities to build, and a nation to make proud. See, our success lies in our power to create, our willingness to learn and innovate. Getting our hands dirty in fixing cars and farms should never be a shame. Forget about what society has to say. They're just looking for someone to blame. Lu ñu war mooy liggéey fas jom suñ réew mun a dem kanam. Ñu béy suñ waat daan suñ doole yi rek a ñu mun a asil ndam. See, we are the backbone for this nation to grow. We are the present and we are the future, the hope this nation needs to nurture. So we've got to be strong, and no matter what comes our way, we've got to believe in the power of our struggle and just, simply just, only just keep on, keeping on. Until then, onwards.
Thank you very much, Lara Toure. I remembered during the Youth Connect, we had Lala and Umar Champion deliver some amazing and inspiring spoken word, and with Bright Star Entertainment. And we all clapped, and the president said, "This is well done. You had taken me off the stress of State House, and I'm with young people today, and I'm laughing." So once again, thank you so much. Lala, let's give her another big round of applause. Can we have Umar Champion, the final one?
Greetings everyone, members of the high chair, members of the middle chair, and even those without chair. Since I've taken 1 minute, right? Sure? I've never decided a point within 1 minute. But let's see. Yëfi njiit su doon gis-gis tey rek sin bët set. Wicc ñu ndoxu taw bu jaarut fenn ñu tàggali ko xet si wàllum njiit ak ni ne jiite wàllum topp ak ni ne toppee bokku xambul li ni togg bokku yàkk li ne soq liggéeyandoor lekkandoor amuti fi sëriñ ak soppe. That is the new spirit, the new feeling, the new zeal in the dimension of our politics. As our hearts loyally mix so we can feel the vacuums and let you know that we are tired of the kneeling that turned to kicks, the pure hearts that turned to bricks, pregnant promises aborted in weeks, miscarriage upon miscarriage, the very problem we couldn't fix. So tell the politicians that the young people are in tears. We are not machines for your politics. Take us out of your gears. We are missing the front seat, the driving lenses, and the insurance. So do not come to seek our favor if you cannot give that assurance. For instance, the bead in the front seats, the church makers, the decision makers. So we are more powerful than the diamond dealers. We could the finance for our fix. For we are tired of the crawling economy and the porous space of our market, the unemployment of the youth and the weakness of our economic socket. No coin flow in their sieving coin, no warming garment or jacket, their pocket a leaking bucket, their wallet a blunt machete. Relatives we really regret cause recently left loaded like a lifeless cigarette packet. So being an unemployed youth, I am a slave in my own kingdom. A homeless youth with nowhere to belong. Luma wax rek ñu ñak loko xorom ñu laftaka diamu yen da soro. I am called a fagot, a flop locked up in a paddock, forced and stopped from reaching the top. Unemployment chopped off the last hope of my life where dreams and aspirations line up, where university degrees and college certificates are forced to drop, and even in employment figure wherever I produce is less preferred compared to a foreign product. So if it is their right, let the president not dictate. Let ministers initiate. Let MPs formulate. Let judges adjudicate. Let the media operate. Let the farmer cultivate. Let tribes cooperate. Let religions tolerate. Let cultures integrate. Let poor harvest depreciate. Let failure retardate. Let the religions tolerate. Let cultures integrate. Let poor harvest depreciate. Let tribes cooperate. Let the activists advocate. Let the artists decorate. Let the teacher educate. The Red Cross, the first aid our education with better grades. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let the moderators moderate. Let the artists artistic. Let, put your hands together for him once again. Again, what is clear is the hopefulness in the future. All these young people are looking at the past, but also bringing out what is their vision, what is their hope. It might not happen today. It might not happen tomorrow. But we need to get each and everyone on board to the Gambia we want, to the Gambia we need. And we need to ensure that we build bridges. Now is the time in this transition, in this fragile nature of our democracy, that we all need to build bridges. That young people need to engage and go to their leadership, engage them and talk to them. And that's the time the leadership also need to ensure they engage and go to their young people. Because ultimately, and again ultimately, what is being said by the young people at podium as poets and even as activists is the same thing being said by our authorities as politicians or as administrators. What we all need is a better and a new Gambia. A Gambia for all. Put your hands together for me. Thank you very much. So that brings us to the end of the official opening ceremony. I have also seen in our midst Adama Sabali, the youth coordinator for KMC, Babukar Sambu, the youth and children coordinator TRRC, Dr. Ismaila Sise is also here from the University of the Gambia. I have also seen our able moderator in the house, Mulusi. Well done. I'm glad you are all around. So thank you very much, and we have Obama from Gambia we want, and I've seen a lot of great faces in the hall here. Please, let's have the photo session. Cameraman, where can we have the photo session? Yes, it means, where can they be seated? And the rest sit behind. So the rest of us, the participants, will come and behind, then we'll just get these chairs in front here. Then we are done and we move to the next segment. Put your hands together for yourself.
The other ministers can also join.
Okay, all right, no problem.
The other can also join. All right. Tell them the other ministers can also.
I can get that.
Continue in grace to live the dream.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too